And here we go. Here we go. Let's see, 9:59. We're a little early, so we're a little early. We'll see how many people we get going here. Woo, people are coming. Hey, everybody. Woo-hoo! We're just waiting on a few people to join. It's 9:59. I got a lot to talk about today, and there's a chat on the Ustream channel, and there's also a chat on RSI, which we're borrowing from Chris at the moment. So just kind of hanging out there. We'll see how people are going. We'll see what's going on, and we're going to record this. So if people missed it, let me know. Am I too loud? If I'm too loud, let me know. It seems like I'm peaking here, so I don't want to be burning people's ears out. Let me drop that down a little bit here. That seems to be better, I think, right? Hopefully. All right. It's going to be fun. So here it is, 10 o'clock. Good morning, Vietnam! No, I'm just kidding. Good morning, everybody. How is everybody? It has been an amazing whirlwind adventure. I could not wait to get out there and get this information to everybody and what's going on. It's like we have been, working hard, getting things ready, getting things going. And I know this is down and dirty. This is kind of my office right now. This is my home. We're all working from the house. We're virtual team as we embark on this adventure. Let me see if I can up the mic. There we go. So we're working virtually right now, and let's just get right to the message, and then we'll take some questions and see what you think. So eventually there will be a larger show, but right now we're going to be down and dirty because we are in on the ground floor of a brand new startup. It says, Wingman, the audio is clipping hardcore. Okay, well, let me break this down a little bit then. Thank you guys for that information. Let's see if that works a little bit. Oh, it's still going pretty high. All right, hold on. Looks like, how's that? Is it better? Okay, waiting to hear what folks say on the chat, if it's better, because I'm going to have to drop it down even more. I mean, I'm a loud guy as it is. Oh, you know what? Let me see. It could also be this thing here. So, okay, much better. Sorry, I burned people's eardrums out. That's typical. It wouldn't go too fast. So, must be a Logitech. Okay. Well, anyway, who are we? We are a brand new startup company. All of us right now comprised of ex-CIG employees. Mike Morlan, Chris Olivia, Jason Spangler, and little old me, who's actually not so little anymore. And we are looking to grow organically with the community. We're looking to start something that crowdfunding adventure, crowdsourcing. We want to get you guys involved, but we want to get you guys involved as we're building the demo, as we're going. We're not asking for a nickel from anybody. We want you guys along for the ride. We want your contributions. We want your thoughts on the game. We want you to be involved. If you got some cool modeling skills, we'll throw them in the hunt. You got some cool. We've already got people signed up to do fiction for us. We got people signed up to do modeling. We need some concept. We want to do this really crowdsourced, not just financially, but crowdsourced individually, where there are people all over the world with mad skills and without any avenue for them to be part of something, and we want to provide that for you guys. So come on in and do that. Well, everybody wants to know, what is the game? Well, it would not be cool for us to do a space-based MMO, because that's Chris's doing, man, and that guy's knocking it out of the park. I was so proud to be a part of that. It's amazing. But we still are married to space. We still like the space adventures. So let me just give you a little rundown of what it's going to be. He's just so close. If he moved back a foot, he'd be fine. Thanks, Raven. How's that? Is that better? Okay, so I'll be back here. I'm getting farther away. Oh my God, he's shrinking. And maybe it makes me thinner. So what is the game? Well, it is 300 years in the future. Mankind has exhausted all his resources on Earth. We've sent people into deep space to find us a new home, but we haven't heard back from them. So, in the meantime, we keep the population going, and I'm kind of reading because I wrote a lot of this. We keep the population going by mining our near-space objects for water, minerals, and other natural resources for survival. This has caused kind of a gold rush scenario, with fly-by-night corporations popping up all over the place and trying to strip as much for themselves from these asteroids and other planets as they can to get rich. And so therefore there really isn't a big rule of law. It says webcam mic. Your mic is still peaking like crazy. It's way turned down. Maybe I need to turn this down a little. All right, you know what? It wouldn't be right if it didn't go. Let's see if I do that. Let's see if does that help? Does that help a little bit, guys? I don't know if that's the right one. Bass boost. Does that work a little? Let me see. Turn a lot of these down so that it's not so bad. I don't want to blast anybody's eardrums out. Are we good? I'm waiting to hear back quite a bit better. Okay, well, all right. Sorry, we are recording this, so it's hopefully getting better. You know, this is the first go at doing this from my beautiful hacienda. Anyway, 300 years in the future, mankind has exhausted resources. Corporations are popping up to mine the near asteroids. We've sent people into deep space. Haven't heard a word back. We're not gonna, we're not sure whether they're going to come back. So it's kind of caused a gold rush scenario where corporations are popping up, fighting each other out in lawless space for control of ice, minerals, things like that. Players, you guys will be the role, or people will be the role of resource agents. You're fighting for every ounce of material you can get. Flying around in 6 degrees of freedom, picking up water, ore, precious minerals, anything you can get your hands on to make it out of the tunnels alive back to the harvesters. So if you ever played the old Descent game, the gameplay is similar to that, where you're flying around inside tunnels, battling other people, but this has the added element of gathering up resources and team play, and there's going to be burrowing and all kinds of other things that will make it even better. There are various mining ships available. Got to have ships, of course, right? But there's not going to be that many ships. You're not going to have like a bunch. There'll be like 4 or 5. Each one will have a specific role. They'll all be good at one thing, and they'll be kind of they'll be better at one thing than others, I guess is a better way of saying it. Based upon the type of gameplay you enjoy. For instance, a person who likes to go in and slug it out, they'll have something for them. There'll be folks who like to fight from a distance, or the stealth harvesters, people want to get in quick and get out. Maybe your team, maybe you're the kind of person who likes to repair or help enemy. You're a support person, or you're an engineer. You want to lay traps and stuff. That's fine. That'll be supported. Each one will have strengths and weaknesses, and it's up to you to maximize what your gameplay type is and return to for each mission. Return to the Harvester alive. There'll be a variety of gameplay modes, from single-player missions to exploration to tunneling to team resource competitions. Hey, capture the ore. We're not going to call it capture the ore. I promise I'm not going to promise. But, anyway, things like that. If you want to play multiplayer only, that's fine. If you want to have your own corporation with friends, great. We're going to support that. We'll be keeping corporate ladders. Climb that corporate ladder for those who wish to climb that. We'll look to amp up each map with hidden tunnels. If you recall, like, if you were an old school gamer like me, and emphasis on old, if you played like Castle Wolfenstein, you used to have to go along and poke at the walls until you found the secret hidden rooms. There'll be a lot of things like that in our tunnels or mines. So some of these things, the mines will be there, or the caverns will be there, but there'll be areas that you can burrow through and change and discover, pockets of things that, that will maybe power your ship up, or pockets of things that will, give you extra cash, or give you extra, be able to mine through back entrances to the enemy's base. But then again, you got to be able to collapse those things too. So we'll have that too. All those maps will have those abilities in there. Temporary power-ups, tunneling, things like that. A way to bore into new tunnels, change the map type, stuff like that. The gameplay and fight mechanics will be reminiscent of the classic game Descent. So you remember you fly up down 6 degrees of freedom. You're inside the tunnels, which helps focus. If you're a true 6 degree of freedom vehicle, and you're in open space, it's very hard to hit somebody when you're doing like this, right? Because it's hard to focus. Usually you have thrust, which limits your ability to pull up and down. Well, our thrust is not going to be so much. It's going to be more about maneuverability, because you're inside these tight corners and spaces. So you can train them by hitting ceilings or floors or side or walls, or I guess there's no ceiling or floor in space, but you know what I mean. And then it'll make sure that the focus is keeping people in ability where you can chase them down tunnels and things of that nature, and then there'll be ways for them to counter that. So it's sort of like that. It's sort of Descent reimagined. And then the question is, what exactly do we want from you? Well, nothing right now other than your passion and your ability to get in and help us make the game. We want you to join us as we build up the demo and get ready for our crowdfund, the adventure. Help us spread the word. Tell people about us. Let us know what's going on. If you have modeling talent, if you're an environment artist, if you're a texture artist, or you're a good writer, or you want to be a community manager, hey man, we're looking for all of that right now. We've already had an amazing response on the boards. People have come in and they're joining us. It's been amazing. Couldn't thank Chris enough for letting us, be on his site and be part of RSI still. We're still freaking a supporter of this a big adventure he's doing, but we want to kind of do our own thing. And so, come join us. It's kind of like having 2 channels to watch. Come see what they're doing. Come see what we're doing. We'll support. They'll support. It'll be fun. What engine are we using? Well, that's a good question. So, Jason is currently evaluating a couple engines. Basically, the 2 we boiled it down to right now has been either Unity 5, which is a new one in development, or Unreal 4. I got to tell you, due to the netcode, we are heavily leaning towards Unreal 4 right now. So the reason for that is there's a lot of people that know how to use it, but the netcode is already solid. It'll get us up and running faster. We're looking to ship the first version of this game within a year. And that means the first couple maps, maybe 1 or 2 ship types fighting each other, playing each other, and we can do that. We already have, in the first 2 hours, 2 days ago is when we started this company, by the way, 2 days ago. And within the first hour, we already had a ship up on screen flying in a gray box situation in Unreal. So that was a big deal. And so we're probably going to stay with that on Unreal 4. And I know a lot of the people at Epic, they're good friends of mine, and so they'll support us, and, it'll be a good thing. So, we're currently evaluating those. If you have some thoughts on that, throw that in the forums. If you think we're making a mistake, hey, let us know. Doesn't mean we'll change it, but at least you let us know. The question is, when can we see some of it? Well, as soon as it's created. Right now, we are in the process, as I said, evaluating. We're writing the fiction. Myself, my son Winglet, and a couple other volunteers are involved with helping us write the gameplay mechanics. I mean, I've got like reams and reams of paper right now, which is coming up with different game types, different mechanics, the resources, different missiles, the different guns, lasers, and things like that. So, there'll be a lot of upgrades. You're going to have a hangar or a garage. It won't be a little different than what we're used to. It'll be kind of like more World of Tanks style, where you'll get in there and you'll adjust and you'll fix your ship and you'll be able to get out there. It's not going to be like hard points. It's not hardcore like that. It's going to be where you'll buy the dual lasers. You won't see them, but now your ship will shoot out 2 lasers on each appendage rather than just 1. So it's a little less hardcore and a little more arcade style of flight model and shooter. So that's what we're doing. That's what we're going to be up to. That went a lot faster than I thought when I wrote it. So it took longer to write it. Be patient, by the way. We're not going to have as much information coming out as the old company because, we're just getting started. We'll let you know. We want to let you know how hard it is to build a company. We're looking to name it. We have a name for the company already, but we're looking to see if the fans have something better. It's already a debate in our forums going on about, what to call it. There's a lot of good ideas out there. Make sure that when you suggest it, though, that you've looked at it, see if it's available on the line because, you can't be. By the way, P-Soccer, where we're located, is totally temporary. We did that years ago to do a Conquest 2 thing. We're not doing Conquest 2. We're doing, YouNameUs.com is doing a new, mining, resource gathering, combat game. So, it's going to be. Don't want to let you know the name yet because we want fans to maybe have a name for that too. Because if you guys come up with something better, well, by God, we're going to go with that. So, a lot of people have asked us, will there be a new show? Yes, we love doing Women's Hangout. It was my favorite part of my job at CIG. I loved interaction, getting to meet people, having the best time. Mike's joined us. He's right now in Jakarta helping set up a movie studio there for a friend of his. But Mike's coming back. He's part of this group. And we're going to be shooting, I'm not sure we're going to call it Wingman's Basement or something of that nature, but we're going to have a new show based around the new company and the new game. So it'll be happening. The guys at CIG do an amazing job of pumping that content out there. We've got a lot to live up to. We're going to be more of a trickle to start. So be a little patient with us, but come join us and along for the ride. It should be pretty fun. Funding goals. People are asked, well, how much do you need? Well, and people, it's amazing. Folks are already going, hey, we'll throw you money. Well, hold on a minute. We don't know the answer to that yet. We're not sure how much we need because we're designing the game. So we're going to design the game, what we want to do for Phase 1, Phase 2, Phase 3, so we can get this proper down. We're going to share the schedules with you guys. We may even share the budgets with what we need with everybody and how the money's being spent. I think it's important if folks are going to crowdfund that they know exactly where their stuff's going. We'll share the project schedule. So we want to make sure that we have that nailed down before we figure that out. It could be, we're looking again to ship this within a year, so I don't expect our need to be all that high. But again, that'll depend on what levels of game type, because level 1 or phase 1 will be a certain type of game with maybe a few maps, and there'll be more maps to do. There'll be more game types. There'll be extra races maybe to discover. You might just there'll be an ancient storyline that comes up at some point in the future. That's a little farther down the line. Maybe you run into in these tunnels an ancient race that doesn't want you to take their organic material. So I believe the Kuiper Belt was Planet Minerva at one point. So we'll be looking at that. So I'm going to open this up for, wow, this was 15 minutes. I can't believe I rambled that long, and my apologies for that. So I'm going to open it up to questions both on the chat on Ustream and also the chat on the RSI forums. If you have any questions about this, let me know what's going on, and I will try to answer them. So let's take one. That's a good question. Stoneheart asks how we're going to recompensate people for their efforts if they want to just submit stuff, right? That's a great question. So we're going to try to find a way to, if we use something in the game, to monetize that for folks who do that. I believe strongly that it'd be great if we could pay. I mean, when we release the game, there's going to be mod tools that are immediately released to the community for people to build maps. They'll be able to submit the maps to us if they're good enough, or we're going to sell map packs at some point in the future, and we're expecting a lot of those to be from the community, and people will be able to participate financially. If there's some kid in Kiev that makes an incredible map, 4 or 5 maps, we'll sell a map pack for a couple bucks, and we'll share the royalties with him. I mean, we're all in this together. That's the whole point. So we got to find a way. We got to work with lawyers to make sure that happens, and compensate. We expect to compensate people for that. We don't have anything to compensate now. Right now, the entire thing's being compensated out of my empty pockets, mate. Good Grand Bagel Meister asks, he doesn't know who I am or what I've done outside of Wingman's Hangar. Well, let's see. I was at Origin Systems with Chris Roberts. We shipped Wing Commander 4. I worked on that. Wing 3. Worked on Privateer 2. Went with the founder, with Chris, to do Digital Anvil, where we shipped Star Lancer together with Aaron, myself. And then we shipped Conquest Frontier Wars at Fever Pitch Studios. I shipped 18 games on the Gizmondo. So I've shipped, I don't know, 25, 30 games over the course of the time. I've owned studios. I've led studios. I've been part of this whole process. I helped CIG grow from nothing to where they are today. So I've got plenty of credentials. It's just, I'm doing my own thing now. So there you go. Do I have any, Leon Ivach, God, you guys know I cannot read for crap. Do you have any ex-CIG devs on board? Yeah, we do. We have Jason Spangler, who was the Chief Technical Officer at Cloud Imperium, and we have Chris Olivier, who was the Chief Visual Officer. We have myself. We're talking to a few others that have left. We're not going to be poaching people from CIG. That's not what we're in this for. We are in this to do ourselves. We're looking at Elijah McNeil because he's amazingly gifted and talented. We'll just kind of muzzle him. But so there's a few and I'm an ex-CIG dev too. So there's quite a few that have left, and we're looking at consolidating and making some of those. Shankers asked a great question. Will it be LTI or a golden ticket? There will be a golden ticket of sorts. We're going to have the people that come now are going to be founders, or they're going to be agents of the company. They're going to be people that are going to be discernible from folks that come later when we show everybody. I mean, these are the people in on the ground floor, ground floorians. I don't know what we're going to call it, but LTI, it's not necessary in this game because it's not like you lose your ship or anything. You just basically spawn back in there. You get teleported in a new vehicle, and it 3D prints you a new vehicle and throws you in there. So. It says, Eric, could you use an unemployed level designer? Yeah, we need level designers big time. We need all of that. We're just now building. This is the first reach out to the people out there and saying, hey, we're going to build a community. We're going to build an area where the people that are true contributors can have their way and be part of this a little more heavily than just the forums, for instance. So if you really got some talent, you want to be part of this, hey, man, come on board. And who knows? If we go nuts and things go crazy, we may just hire you outright. Whether you live here in Austin or whether you live in, Timbuktu. Is there a real place? I don't know. Okay, let's see. Oh, visual fidelity from Denvis asks. Yeah, that's a great question. We're going to push the envelope. We are not going as far as Chris is going. That is amazing. because at some point we are PC specific, but at some point if Microsoft comes and wants to give us a barrel of money to put it on Xbox One or PS4 does too, we would listen. So we're PC specific, but at the same time we're going to support current consoles, and we're going to have a companion app. The idea behind that is that you don't know the levels when you get there, but you might be able to buy a probe and go fly through and map those levels out, and then transfer that over to your game experience. So, let's see. Yeah, so we're not really doing economy and trading so much, but there is resources. You're going to be able to use the resources to, build your own missile types or upgrade certain things of your ships, or you can sell the missiles. There is an economy of sorts. It's going to be a dual currency economy instead of one. And so we just haven't figured out exactly what that's going to be. We want to get the gameplay type nailed down first, and then we want to get, to how the trading or how it's not a persistent world per se, but there is an element of Earth's happiness that's involved, that, as you're out there, you want to keep the Earth somewhat from rioting, I guess, and however many resources get back to Earth, keep the Earth in a copacetic state. So, us Earthlings, man, we're a needy bunch. The ships will be modular. The ships are going to be modular. There'll be about 4 or 5 of them. There'll be a consistent hull, but you'll be able to change the... each ship has its own speed. Each ship has its own ability. There'll be a boring ability on each ship. In other words, there are going to be hidden tunnels or areas you can bore through the maps to create other new open spaces or discover new hidden places. And so there's going to be some boring ability that's really fast. There'll be some that's really slow. There'll be some that's medium. So each ship's going to have some things they do very well and some things they don't do very well. But they'll all have the central capability of being able to fight and do the main things that you need to do. Boring, resource gathering. Each ship will have its own cargo size that it can carry the minerals or the resources. So maybe you want to have a lot, but that's a slow Leviathan-style ship that it has pretty good armor. We're not sure if we're going to do shielding yet. We may do it to where shields haven't been discovered yet, or they're not there. So we're just kind of trying to figure out whether we want to do that or not. It could just be simple, how many hit points in armor your armor can take. So. Yeah, Peazocker, if you want to sign up, it's at peazocker.com right now. Peezocker. That is a temporary name which is not going to stay. It has been universally hated. I hear you. Oh! I understand. We're not doing Peazocker. Got it. Well, I'm with you. Okay. Apple Crow sounds boring. Well, thanks, Apple Crow. Oh, cockpit view. Yes, yes, there will be a cockpit. There will be a cockpit view. Each ship will have its own cockpit. However, we are toying with the idea of allowing you to have a virtual HUD. We'll see how it goes. And then but you get bonuses for playing in cockpit level. So if your team or you're it's kind of like Counter-Strike and team play if you're not playing single individual play. Where your team gets a bonus for playing with the cockpit on screen. So it's kind of like a headshot in a first-person shooter. You're just as dead with being shot in the head as you are center massed torso, but you get a bonus for that. So, those are things that are going to be designed and debated on the forums. So please come on over. Voxel mining. Yes! We're planning to do exactly that. Jason's looking into that as well right now. Eric Space Industries? No, we're not going to call it Eric Space Industries or Wingman's Studios or anything like that. We're a team effort. It's a team effort going on here. Even though it's just me here. It's just me. We're going to find a way. Maybe we'll do this in Google Hangouts later, where you can ask me or Morlan, and Morlan could be on from Jakarta, or Jason or Chris Olivier, or And by the way, the coolest thing about this is many cool things, but one of the cooler things is my son Colton, who's known to you guys as Winglet, is involved, and he's helping us design the game, and this is his first one, and he puts that perspective of a 15-year-old in there, and that's amazing, and it's really something fun we can do together. So yes, Track IR and Oculus Rift will be supported. The UE4 engine already supports that stuff, so we're going to absolutely support that stuff. Let's see what else. Can you send booze goodies to celebrate your new venture? No, not yet. I mean, God, it hurts to say no. It hurts. Just a minute. It's just, I can't do this without. All right. right, this is an empty bottle, but you can't sense a booze yet, man. We don't have an office yet. We're looking to do this remotely or distributed development right now, and then we will once we're looking to we're looking to be no more than 10 to 14 people max. We don't want to have this really big overhead situation. We want to have it to where we can control the game itself, the IP. We can react quickly to what fans are asking for, and we can do it internally with ourselves. Oh, my computer just went to sleep, so I'm hoping you're still seeing me here, but I can't see anybody else. So, oh, here we go. Let's see if I can get it back up online here. This is weird. I'm sure you're seeing me, but I'm not seeing any chat or anything. Here we go. I'll bring it back now. Good to know. All right, we're back up. Well, that's what happens when you have your old computer instead of the new one behind you working. So, no LTI needed for sure. Let me see. What else? What other questions? You know, okay, thanks, Grim Falcon. You know, the cool thing, one of the things we've also looked at is, will you try to, Kanji-san, of course. We're definitely going to have co-op. I mean, it's team play to the max. There's going to be an esports component of this where you'll have a situation where there's an asteroid out there, and it's unmined, and you know there's caverns inside, but you can't get to it yet, and there'll be 3 or 4 teams that attach to the asteroid, and immediately they start boring their tunnels into the asteroid. They start, Minecraft style, not like that, but melting their way into the core, and then there's going to be fight for the resources that are inside the core, and there'll be a counter or a ticker that allows you to get whoever gets the most whoever gets to the level they need and gets off the asteroid first is the winner of the map, so to speak. And there's going to be ways to block people off and kill people and all that kind of stuff. But whoever wins is going to get a boost in their whatever the things, either gems or gold. They're not going to be gems. It might be gold. We're not calling it gems, but it's the second currency. They'll be able to earn that in game. So again, everything that you can buy on our site, which is going to be weapons, upgrades, consumables, things like that, you'll be able to earn those in the game as well. I'm a big firm believer in that kind of situation, but at the same time, those are going to be in the team co-op matches. It's going to be hugely esports team co-op style of play. If you think some of the game types will be similar to Counter-Strike, except instead of 8 players or 16, we're looking at adding 60 players, man, and having 3 or 4 teams fighting for the thing in the middle, and they're all going at each other. So, it's going to be a really big, cool space adventure game. Oh, not space combat descent 6 degrees of freedom game. I got my tangled up leftovers from a previous employment. Yandere says he's crying because I left CIG. Well, thank you, Yandere. I appreciate it. Chris and I are still friends. I really don't want to talk so much about CIG or Cloud Imperium. I'm still a huge supporter. I have huge friends there. I understand the situation. This is Chris's baby. This is his game. He needs to make sure that he succeeds at this thing. So whatever it takes to do, I'm on board with that man. I've got his back. We're going to be looking for him supporting us. We're going to keep supporting him. So this is, I read some of the stuff in the forums, and man, it's crazy. It's just, it just worked out this way. I helped build the company. Happily, what I did. I prefer working on my own with other people. I like being my own boss. So it's one thing to work for the man. It's another thing to be the man. Not that I'm the man. We're more like the whoa man. No, that doesn't work. We're like the men in tights. Well, Industrial asked if Mike Morlan's Galactic Inquiry still exists. I think so, Industrial, but I don't know what he's planning to do with that. I know he's on hiatus at the moment. Even if we do Wingman's Basement, we will probably still have segments about Star Citizen because, I'm a big fan of Star Citizen. I want to play the stinking game. That's what I want to do. So I'll still follow along, and I still have friends over there. So Wingman's Basement will still probably have bits and pieces about Star Citizen because we're still interested. And I think there's going to be a lot of crossover. I think a lot of people that support us have already supported Star Citizen and vice versa. And so, hey, man, I don't know about you guys, but I've probably supported 20 games on Kickstarter just because I like the people and I like the concepts. So there's room for all of us out here. Let's see. Ori Klein. Hey, Ori Klein. I haven't seen you in a while. It's an old Conquest friend of mine. Let's see. Okay, so Dr. Quack asks, how will the camera work? Third person in cockpit. We're looking at being in cockpit. I'm not a big fan of third person stuff. Maybe there'll be some third person cinematic stuff, but I don't want to. If we did I don't like seeing. I don't like flying behind and seeing the. It's just my personality thing or my personal thing. But I mean, again, we're gonna throw that at the audience and see what they think and go from there. Shankers asked if we would buy the Descent IP. You know, Shankers, I really don't. We reached out to the guy who owns that. His name's Phil Adam. I didn't hear back from him. You know, I thought that'd be kind of a cool thing too, but he didn't reach. So, and this is really not Descent. It's more. The gameplay is reminiscent of, but it's its own thing. It's much like. You know, Chris isn't doing Wing Commander, he's doing Star Citizen, but the gameplay is very similar, or Freelancer, or whatever you want to call it. So, I think sometimes it's better to start afresh with a new IP. But if Phil answers back, I reserve the right to change that. Will we have lasers? Raven asks if we'll have lasers on all hard ammo weapons. There will be lasers, but no, I mean, there'll be Gatlins, lasers, and again, these are still being designed. So there'll be ballistic weapons, there'll be lasers, there'll be plasma weapons, there'll be missiles, there'll be area effect weapons. There'll be nets. You'll be able to fly behind, drop a net behind you that somebody flies through and blows them up. So there's all kinds of things like that. We still have to define it. My mic just died. I didn't die. My mic died. Owen says my mic died. Can you guys hear me? It says I killed my mic, but I see the thing going on the screen here. Okay, they can still hear me. Okay, good. Thank you, guys. Owen, you scared me. Stop that. Okay, cool. So I'll take a couple more questions. It's been 30 minutes. This is going to be up on I'll put it up on YouTube too. A clown and almost clear. Thanks, engineer. Much appreciated. Wingman killed. I killed the sound. Okay, so hangar, choose a ship and load out and choose a map. Well, yeah, I think we're leaning towards having like a server up with, like if you're going to play single player, there'll be a server up asking for maybe your tank, or you guy who plays tank. They'll be going, hey, we need a tank guy over here. You build your teams around certain dynamics or how you play, or maybe you're a team that flies all like stealth guys. I don't know. All right, so one more question. Two more maybe. Voodoo Child says, what are our immediate needs? Concept designers, level designers, fiction writers, people who want to be involved in this project from the ground up, join our forums, be part of it. We will support you, you will support us, and we're going to do this together. This whole thing about being part of a community and reaching out and having a virtual handshake with everybody else is important to me. I really, really firmly believe that doing something with the community is extremely strong and powerful, and it sends a message to the world that we can do this together. I mean, that's what I want to do. That's what I want to create. I want to build a game and a community together. That's my goal. That's always been my goal. I love meeting people. I love being part of something that is changing the world and building Captain Kirk's communicator. So that's what I'm looking to do here. Oh, wow, Shankers, I don't know about that, buddy, but, that was funny. When will the next show? That's a good question. We're going to do a show. We'll do a live stream a week. I think we'll probably stick it at Thursday at 10 a.m. just for now until Morlan gets back and we start, getting a little further down the road. Again, we started 2 days ago, so you guys are in on the ground floor. So listen, I'm gonna pop out of here. I thank you guys. I thank you guys so much for all your support, both at CIG and at our new company. I almost said the name there. I really, really appreciate everything you guys have done for me personally and my family and all the devs and your support. It's amazing. Without you, there is no us. I cannot thank you enough. And hopefully we'll be able to do this together. It'll be fun. It'll be changing. It'll be a little different than what we did before, but it'll be just as fun, hopefully. So I will see you guys. Well, hey, I get my tagline back. Keep supporting Star Citizen. Keep supporting the new venture, and I will see you all in the verse.